Hi, everybody. Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the December 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Taurus for sun and rising placements. So, what that means is it's for your sun sign or your rising sign. Hi, Taurus. Welcome to Sagittarius season. Every December, we start out with the sun in the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. And where that hits for you in your horoscope is the eighth house, which is the house that is traditionally ruled by the sign Scorpio. But for Taurus, in the horoscope, Sagittarius lives here. So, what is the eighth house? The eighth house is the house of shared resources, and that includes sex, finances through marriage or inheritance or anything that's shared with a household, per se. This can also be taxes, loans, investments. This is also the death and rebirth house, and also the house that rules our relationship to our sexuality, the occult, um, mystery and spooky things, all of that. It's the spooky house. So having Sagittarius here starting out the month, you have the sun here. We also have Mercury retrograde here. And then on December 1st, we start out with a new moon also in Sagittarius that hits in the early AM hours for the East Coast. It hits in the, I think, PM hours for the West Coast, and it hits the day before on the 29th. So there's kind of a little bit, depends on where you're at in the world. But, having a new moon hitting the eighth house in the Taurus chart, there's a really good opportunity for you to set intentions around what you want to manifest and cultivate in this area of your life. So anything around money, anything around shared resources that you might have with a partner or your family, any kind of debts or taxes or bank stuff that you have that you need to sort out. Also, your sexuality, and also, the occult is tied to our spirituality in a way. So there's also that. And then there's also some karmic stuff here. So you can set intentions in any kind of way that you want around what you want to kind of plant seeds towards growing in the future, whether that's paying off certain debts or qualifying for certain loans or buying, some kind of shared asset with someone. It's also, where we deal with estates and inheritance and, any kind of issues around that. Mercury retrograde here brings an opportunity for us to reflect, review, and reassess these areas of our life and whether or not things are working for us. So, a lot of energy to start out December for you. We also have Venus finishing up her stint in Capricorn, Mars in Leo, Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus retrograde, and then Neptune's going to be retrograde in Pisces until the 6th. And then Pluto is still in Aquarius. So we're going to go ahead and move forward into some of the other transits. I'm going to try to keep this shorter, on the shorter side, and just talk about kind of the highlighted areas of the chart for you. So Venus has been passing through your ninth house, which is the house of values, belief systems, long distance travel. It's also the area that we kind of question things or want to grow and evolve into new territory. And she is going to be leaving. Well, let's see here. I should have probably talked about Mars first, shouldn't I have? This is where me not taking notes is problematic, but I have my book that takes the notes for me. I have two different books. One is Universal Time and one is East and West. And it's just sometimes hard to see what day what is happening with the Universal Ephemeris. And I need to memorize conversion rates and I have not. So let's go ahead and see. So it looks like it's going to be the 6th that Mars stations retrograde and Venus enters Aquarius. So they're both doing it together on the first day, or on the 6th day of the month. And so I'm going to talk about Venus first. So Venus moves out of your ninth house and into your 10th house, which is really good for your career. So if you are trying to get a promotion, make more money, generate more business, get a new job, level up in any way, Venus, is going to make a conjunction with Pluto on that 6th day, and it's going to change a lot of stuff about how you're relating to your career and work. And it's also a really positive time to level up and kind of push into some new territory. Mars stationing retrograde here. So Mars is in Leo. Mars entered Leo last month in November. So watch last month's horoscope if you want to know more about that. But Mars had entered your 4th house, which is the house of home and family. Wherever Mars is, we do experience some conflict, and Mars does make a hard aspect to Taurus. So Mars stationing retrograde here does show that there are opportunities for there to be some conflict over the month of December. Mars is going to be retrograde here for the whole month of December and January. But at the beginning of January, it moves back into your 3rd house of communication, giving you an opportunity to work more on how you confront conflict with others. And then it doesn't station direct until February. And Mars is going to be doing this teeter-totter between Cancer and Leo until June of 2025. So communication issues, especially when it comes to your home and family, are going to be major for you over the rest of the year and into June. So you're working on, for Taurus dominant people, you're working on how to have healthy conflict and healthy confrontation in these areas. How do you assert your boundaries? How do you assert what you need without blowing up relationships? Because healthy conflict is a part of relationships. It's about how we can have healthy relationships is having healthy conflict, and being conflict avoidant often leads to more conflict in the future. And so Leo here, Mars and Leo here, is kicking up some dust for you so that you can figure out more positive ways of expressing yourself within the home and family structure. And, you know, in the 3rd house, it's helping you work on being more vulnerable. You're going to start out probably being more emotionally reactive, but the goal is to work towards healthy conflict, healthy confrontation, and healthy vulnerability. After that, the next energy that we have, sorry, my dog is very noise sensitive to the neighbors. Cosmo, hey, come here, bud. Come eat your cheese. We've got cheese for you. Come on. Let me get his cheese. Come on. Come get it. Eat your cheese with mommy. Come on. A little shy. Why are you being so shy? Come on, mommy. Put mommy right. Let's eat your cheese. You can sit on my lap and eat your cheese. Let's see, we get the dog content here. Look at you. Look at you just eating your cheese, being crazy. Crazy baby. Crazy. Yeah. So Neptune is also stationing direct during this time, and Neptune has been retrograde since July, since the beginning of July, and it's been retrograde from 29 degrees to 27 degrees. The area of the horoscope that this was hitting in for Taurus is the area that has to do with your relationship to your community, group associations. Saturn has also been transiting here for the last year. And so now that Neptune is stationing direct, you're going to have some, maybe some stagnant energy kind of get released when it comes to groups, friendship circles. If you are trying really hard to kind of, you know, feel more connected to a group or a community, this could kind of help you in feeling like there's some momentum around that potentially. Let's see. The next shift is going to be December 15th. We have a full moon in Gemini. I believe it's at 23 degrees of Gemini. And then we also have Mercury stationing direct at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. This is making a trine to the Mars retrograde in Leo. And so the area that's lit up for Taurus is you have the full moon happening in your 8th and 2nd house. So the moon is happening in the 2nd house. The sun is still in the 8th house. So the moon is highlighting your finances, your material stability, your connection to money and shared resources. And, you know, full moons are a great time for releasing, letting go, and calling in things that you want to manifest. So money manifestation is really positive for you during this time, but also financial planning with the houses and the signs that they're in is really supported for you during this time. If you want to get really serious about how you're dealing with your money and how you're budgeting and planning finances, that's really supported over the full moon. And Mercury stationing direct also is very much like, yes, let's problem solve when it comes to money stuff. Um, After that, the next shift of energy is going to be us entering Capricorn season. So that's going to be the winter solstice happening on the 21st. Capricorn in the horoscope for you is the ninth house. So we're going to have the sun moving out of that eighth house energy and entering the ninth house, which is the house that has to do with values and belief systems, long distance travel, publishing, the law, our pursuit for wisdom and spiritual practices and kind of reflecting on what we believe and whether or not we're in alignment with that. So the sun is going to come and highlight all of these areas of your chart. And Capricorn and Taurus like each other. They make a harmonious trine to each other. So this is a really powerful, positive energy for you in terms of feeling maybe more ignited to push parts of your life forward that, you were kind of maybe stuck in at the whim of what was happening around you. And now maybe there's kind of this ability to kind of say like, okay, like here's what I want, here's what I believe, here's my values, and I want to move in this direction. So that's supposed to be kind of supported more as the sun moves through the ninth house for you and making that trine to Taurus. Then at the end of the month, we have a new moon on December 30th that's sitting at 9 degrees Capricorn in that same area of your chart, the ninth house. And, again, new moons are a great time for setting intentions. And so this is a powerful time for you to set intentions towards being more in alignment with the things that you believe and value out of your life. Ninth house brings up a lot of those questions. Like, am I living in alignment with what I believe and what I value? And having Venus in Aquarius also brings up some of those things for us. So it's a good time to get in alignment. I'm going to pull a card from the Rockstar Tarot deck for you. This is going to be the card for energy for you to focus on for the month of December. We have the Eight of Wands. This is actually a Sagittarius card. It looks like we have Jimmy Page on here. It's a pretty cool energy. But the Eight of Wands, the advice of this card often is that we need to be really intentional about what it is we want to manifest or cultivate into our lives. In the Rider-Waite deck, or is it I'm thinking of the Mother Peace deck, there's kind of this Cupid pointing an arrow with a bunch of different flames. And it's like we have all these different directions that we can aim our intentions, and we need to be really clear about what it is that we actually want. The universe responds to what we put out there. So, waiting around for things to happen to you isn't really a good approach to getting what you want. You really have to tell the universe, this is what I want. This is my intention. This is what I'm trying to work towards. And then you have to take right action, right? You have to do things in the physical that generate that, but your intentions have to be clear too. A lot of times people come to me for astrology or tarot readings and they want the cards or the astrology to tell them what to do. That's not what tarot cards or astrology is for. Energy is energy, and at different moments in time, we have different energies more prevalent and more accessible to us than other energies. We still have to decide how to utilize that energy by taking right action. Nothing is just happening to us. We're also driving, in a Mars way, we're driving that ship forward too. So we're meeting, that energy. We have to meet it in the middle, essentially. We can only control ourselves and how we meet it. We can't control what's out here. So, like with that stupid quote, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, there's in that meeting the moment kind of thing. Like we have to do that. We still have to meet it. We can't just say, I want this and wait for it to come. We can say, I want this, but we still have to move towards it. And maybe the right energy comes and pushes us along. Some people really are just in the right place at the right time. And that's why the choices that you make really do matter in terms of aligning yourself with where you want to be, making those choices that put you where you want to be. Okay, Taurus, that's it for you for December. If you liked this, please hit the like and subscribe button. I publish these every month. You can find me at theladyofleosure.com or thesobercurator.com. I highly encourage you to watch the December forecast video as I go deeper into each transit for the month ahead. All right. I'll see you guys next year. Happy holidays.